Okay, I've got both devices recording just in case one shuts off because, certain tech companies like to control everything and even control the battery outage in regards to that. Anyways, I'm making this video about the most important document ever recorded in human history, and that's not including the certain tablets and stuff like that. I should say recent history. But the reason why it's so important is the Declaration of Independence. And the reason why this is the most, in my divine opinion, because back then when this was created, it was created by men. But all men were birthed by women through the birth canal, okay? So I'm going to try and use my natural power to try and hone in and correct where people are not understanding this. Because when it says men, it's talking about all human beings, all mankind. And when I read this, and it's saying stuff about the colonies and stuff like that, it's not even, you can think what you want about that. That's your own opinion. But look at it as a human thing in regards to one group to another group, okay? This is important because it was the first initial documentation of recognizing human beings having flaw and error. And it is one of the very actions to document the acknowledgement that another group of human beings, a brother, a part of ourselves, was doing something wrong. And when someone or something is incorrect or wrong, it is your natural duty and natural authority and right to detach yourself from those doing harm to others, doing tyrannical, unjust things. It's your duty to stand and correct, okay? And it's extremely powerful. Everybody just likes to give their power away, when no, we only tolerate and allow evil to be done when we see it in our environment. If you are not stopping and standing and correcting when evil is being done, then you're not in your power. You've given it away, or somebody's been. That's not in regards to self-defense. That means, and even then, it's your internal natural right and instinct to defend yourself when when another part of yourself, another human being, is trying to cause damage to you. It makes no sense, right? It makes no sense why another person would try and steal from a part of themselves. That means there's a separation, that they don't understand the same alignment of understanding and gnosis that you are on. They are ignorant of the situation, of truth, of divine natural rights, that this entire earth is abundant. The Native Americans were all a part of this too. This was all a part of that. And I want to read it because people forget this. The United States, the U.S. Constitution could not have been created without first the Declaration of Independence being established and acknowledged, okay? As well as then even after that, the Peace and Friendship Treaty from the Moors, who technically they probably already had their people here, but they were in the South. The Moroccans at the time in 1777 were the first country to acknowledge the United States of America as a country, okay? And it was all based off of the law of the land. Law of the land meaning natural law, your human instinct, your divine, beautiful right and loving way to be alive and have friendship with each other and trade and exchange exchange commerce and goods and love each other, really. And I want to read this out loud because our government and everything, not even just in the US, is out of order. It's completely run amok. It's tyrannical. They're killing people. Your money, your tax money is getting sent to places that you probably don't even know because you don't stop and correct and pay attention. Created or recognized in 1776. It was written up before that, but it was acknowledged and officially acknowledged in 1776, okay? There's actions that were taken up to that prior to, okay? Remember, there's only 3% that actually gave their life for freedom from this bullshit tyrannical king and just unnecessary. It was unnecessary, absolutely unnecessary to be doing. Just like some of the colonists or the people at the time, even the Native Americans, were all involved fighting with each other. Okay? Nobody was perfect. Nobody is perfect. But when, I should say this, everybody's perfectly, this is so cliche, everybody's perfectly imperfect, okay? There's reasons why people defend themselves. There's reasons why people hit or try and cause war. There's a misunderstanding. There's a lack of knowledge and gnosis. There's a lack of connection. There's a lack of understanding. Understanding is the act of loving someone or something. Okay, I'm going to read it, and I want this to ring through. When in the course of human events, it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with another, and to assume among the powers of the earth the separate and equal station to which the laws of nature, recognizing that government is not law, okay, let's get that clear. Natural law, okay? Law of the land, law of land, law of air, law of water. To which the laws of nature and of nature's God entitle them. Meaning that when you're born, you are endued with these rights and laws, or these natural rights, these natural powers of just being alive, okay? A decent respect to the opinions of mankind requires that they should declare the causes which impel them to separation. And maybe I should make a different declaration of independence for what's going on today, but in due time. Because everybody, especially women, have that authority. Especially women. We're the most powerful beings on the planet. We give birth to nations. We give birth to universes. People. We the people. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men, mankind, women, children as well, are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, meaning unwavering, no matter what, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, that to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, meaning mankind, people, give government the right to do what or give government the power to do what it does. That's it. Deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed, the people, that whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or to abolish it, and to institute new government or a new hierarchy or correction, laying its foundation to such principles and organizing its powers in such form as to them shall seem most likely to effect their safety and happiness. Prudence indeed will dictate that governments long established should not be changed for light and transient causes, and according all experience hath shown that mankind are more disposed to suffer, while evils are sufferable, than to right themselves by abolishing the forms to which they are accustomed. Meaning people become lazy, essentially. They're just like, I accept my suffering. But when a long train of abuses and usurpations, pursuing invariably the same object, evinces a design to reduce them under absolute despotism, wow, I'm getting a little high strung. It is their right, it is their duty to throw off such government and to provide new guards for their future security. Millennials, hello. Such has been the patient sufferance of these colonies, people, essentially, people, okay? That includes everybody. And such is now the necessity which constrains them to alter their former systems of government, okay? The history of the present king of Great Britain, who is tyrannical and fucking shitty and stupid as fuck, is a history of repeated injuries and usurpations, all having indirect object the establishment of an absolute tyranny over these states. States can mean a lot of things. Whenever I think of state, it always goes to the mind, state of mind, because territories or boundaries or whatever all come from a state of mind, and established as well as a state of mind, okay? Programming, governmental programming to the states. To prove this, let facts be submitted to a candid world. We, therefore, the representatives of the United States of America and General Congress assembled, appealing to the Supreme Judge of the world for the rectitude of our intentions, do in the name and by the authority of the good people of these colonies, territories, America, the land, solemnly publish and declare the United States are and of right out to be free and independent states. Remember, states of mind, free states of people. Fuck it, I'm redoing the Declaration of Independence right now. That they are absolved from all allegiance to the British Crown, let's just say tyranny all around the world, and every single person accountable, let's say Nana Tuna Punu from whoever the fucking Israel fucking person is, as well as Biden can fall under this category. Any person who falls in those categories under the British Crown at the time was doing very unjust things, as well as people that were doing unjust things to the indigenous and the Native Americans, or to each other as human beings. And that all political connection between them and the state of Great Britain is state of Great Britain and ought to be totally dissolved, and that as free and independent states, state of minds and hearts, they have full power to levy war, conclude peace, contract alliances, establish commerce, and do all other acts and things which independent states may of right do. And for the support of this declaration, with a firm reliance on the protection of divine providence, we mutually pledge to each other our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor. What is the sacred honor? Sacred honor meaning they're referring to the feminine, because you honor the feminine principle inside of you. The feminine, or the female, or the woman, sometimes it depends on the context of the situation, but the female aspect, or the feminine aspect, is the one that has the wisdom and gives guidance, and then the masculine gives logic and action to play it out. So want people to remember this. And if I said something incorrect today, God willing, please correct it for me. Help me out. Because people are not in their power enough to actually stop and correct. It takes time. And we're not to blame for that. People like myself who are nescient and innocent, who were targeted since they were younger, are not to blame for that. And that one just shut off. So, like I said, this involves all human beings. It includes all human beings, because you're endowed with these rights and these principles to know. I would advise and command people to read this for yourself, and then go on to the U.S. Constitution and look at the Bill of Rights, because that is the first place where the government actually enacted or recognized that human beings have these natural rights, and then use them to provide a foundation for government to play out. Have a good day, and stand and correct.